Hey Google, it's date night tonight. What do you fancy doing?
I like jokes, especially the funny parts.
You are a joke. It doesn't matter. Hey, Geordie Skater here, and welcome to my adventures in aquascaping. Okay, first up, I must apologise for how long it's took for me to get a video out. I've missed doing the videos, but there was reason for it. It's because I record and edit everything off my phone. But it just wasn't working. I've recorded videos, they were freezing, I was losing footage, etc. Anyways, you don't want to know that. But anyways, I'm all sorted now. I've got a new system now, a desktop, which is great. It makes editing a breeze and it's much easier. And I just want to say thanks to my dad for helping us out with that. So cheers, Dad. Today we're going to focus on how I did this aquascape in this awesome aquarium. I've done a review on these aquariums, which is aquariums by Waterbox, and if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. Have a look, you'll see a full unboxing review of these aquariums. This one is the Waterbox Clear Mini 10. Ultra clear glass, brilliant. I'm well impressed with these aquariums and it speaks for itself. The clarity is amazing and yeah, brilliant little tanks, and I love the length, perfect for aquascaping. So that's the aquarium. Lights, I've just got two Aquarium LED plant lights, I believe. They're 6 watts each. The stuff I put on is stuff I already had. The filter's off an old Frugal Edge I had, and so is the heater. So it's all equipment I had. So this makes it really cheap as well, to be honest. It's not an expensive setup. This retails for £79 and I got this from Horizon Aquatics. The lights, I'm roughly guessing about £20 each. The filter, about 30, 35, and the heater's around about 15, £20. All I've got is a simple sponge and my favourite media, which is Seachem Matrix, so that's what's in there. So okay, flowing, it's doing the job. This has been set up around about, I would like to say about 7 or 8 weeks, and it's doing great, nice and simple. All the plants, bar the fern, I just transferred from an old tank, which I stripped down. So we've got Anubias Petite, we have got Sterigini Repens, and in the back there we've got Cryptocorin Wendii Tropica. Pronunciation's good as usual, eh? And the fern is a Trident fern, which I purchased and added that. So that's the main focal plant. The wood is, again, out of another scape. I had a nano black water with branches, they were opposite way. So I added these as well as a couple of little bit extras, and this is Talawa wood. A lot of people have been asking about this wood, and again, you can purchase this from Horizon Aquatics. So the building process, what I've actually done, starting off, we've got a sand and we've got soil at the back, so it's all planted at the back. And what I've done is the old school, old fashioned way, which was done by the late great Takashi Amano, and that's using a piece of cord, a length of the tank, to divide the substrates. So you've got the decorative sand front and the soil at the back. The sand is ADA La Plata sand and the soil is Aquavito Aquasolum soil. So that's what I've used in there. So the divide, like you see, you just put it in, put your soil at the back and you put your sand in. When you carefully remove the cord, you've got your divide. Stones are North Black stone. I think they're my favourite stone because I think they look very EDA like, and that's what I like about it. So if you watch us regular, you know I love nature aquarium style, and this is a simple nature aquarium style, non-CO2, low energy, like I explained. So it's a dot to look after as well. So we've got the wood in, we've got the stones in, we've got that nice divide, and then we added the plants. So the only plants in the soil are the actual crypts and the S repens. So the rest are epiphytes. So epiphyte plants just means it attaches to wood or stone. So you mustn't bury the rhizome because it'll just kill the plant. So they feed from the water column. So the Trident fern, that's just wedged in there. And so is the Anubias Petite. Livestock, we have some cherry shrimp in there. There's also a couple of mono shrimp to help out with the algae control. And there's a couple of ottos in there. It's weird because I usually see ottos all the time in a big tank. In a little tank, I rarely see them. Bizarre. But yeah, so we've got otto cinchlus in there, red cherry shrimp, a mono shrimp, and lovely little fish there. We've got a small school of green neon tetra. All these came from another tank. I just stripped some tanks down, so I added these. The ones I've stripped down will be obviously redone, and you'll see them in future videos. So yeah, that's the full planting. Once it's set up, obviously fill the aquarium with water, and I done water changes every day for the first week and a half, and then I just calmed it down. Because the media was mature, I didn't have to do huge massive water changes, so the mature media really does help. That's a top tip from me, to be honest. What I've found over the years is how much mature media really does help in a new setup. You don't get as much melting. None of these crypts have melted, and I think that's quite unusual for crypts, because usually when you transfer crypts from one tank to another, they melt. They don't like being moved, and that's what usually happens. But I think because of the mature media, that has helped loads. No melting, and the plants have just settled great from being exchanged from one tank to another. Plus, they were changed from a tank which was running CO2 injection to a tank that isn't. So, all doing really well. So, I'm really pleased. So, top tip for you there. Where you can, use mature media. If you've got multiple tanks, or you can just swap media from different filters. But it really, really does help in my experience. And I try and do it as much as I can. So yeah, we'll continue with the water changes. Now I'm just down to one water change a week, sometimes two, see how it's doing, which is usually around about 50%. Fertilization, at the moment, I'm dosing every other day, Flourish Trace, which is the trace elements, and Flourish Potassium. Just in the early stages, I'm always experimenting with the different ferts to see what works best, and I'm just following this way because I know it's a nutrient-rich substrate. So at the minute, don't feel the need to add iron just yet, so that'll be added in a couple months' time. And I don't feel nitrogen just yet because everything's going good, but as time goes on, I think nitrogen levels deplete, so I start adding iron. So I'll start adding nitrogen. Whew. But at the minute, not overcomplicated, trace elements, which are really important from the off, and potassium. Your water changes, Seachem Prime, and for the first few weeks I used Seachem Stability. Even though it was mature media, no harm. Every time I set a tank up, I use Seachem Stability, and I would highly, highly recommend using it. It's just really good in promoting the healthy bacteria needed in your aquarium, in your filter. The cherry shrimps, I just put a handful in and they're breeding already. There's loads of little minis. All in all, yeah, I'm really happy with this aquarium, and like I say, the feedback's been great. So let us know, guys, what do you think? Is this the type of setup you would like? And bear in mind, this was cheap to set up. I would say cheap. Obviously I had stuff already, so that makes it a lot easier, but I've really enjoyed scaping it. I've really enjoyed looking after this tank. It's just been a joy, so much so I'm going to get another one because they're great, honestly. I'll be totally honest with you, nano tanks, I think, yeah, they're great. What I mean by nano tanks is square cubes. I'm not a total fan of square tanks anymore. I used to like them, but now I'm just pretty much old school. I like a good old rectangular tank. Rectangular? Yeah, rectangular tank. So because you've got the length, I don't know, I think it's a lot more pleasing to the eye, and that's what I'm stuck with from now on. So I think all my aquariums eventually here in the studio are going to be old school rectangular, longer, like I say, cubes. Not really a fan anymore. But we'll see, never say never. I'll see how it goes, but at the minute I'm loving this type of aquarium, so I will be purchasing another 10, definitely. The fish, obviously a little shy at the minute, but they look stunning in this tank. I think the clarity of the tank with the bright background, the contrast of the plants, I think it's a great choice of fish. Let us know in the comments. What do you think? Do you think it's a good choice of fish? What would you change? What would you add? What would you like to see in there? Bear in mind, it's only 35 litres, so I can't go mad with the actual livestock. The idea is, the crypts was a bit of a different thing. I was thinking of a backdrop and I didn't want to use stems in this one. I just wanted to keep it nice and easy. And I thought, well, I use the crypts out in my other scape. So what I done when I moved them all out, I used all the healthy leaves, the smaller leaves, cut away all the older, larger leaves. So all in all, a nice, simple, easy scape that's not too expensive. So that's everything about the tank. There's one thing I did promise in the last video. I was going to give away one of these t-shirts, Gumi style. And what I was going to do with that is just pick a comment that I liked and send you a free t-shirt. So I had a look through the comments and one I liked, and to be honest, the guy has followed me from day one and he's always so kind and sends us really nice messages. And I thought, I have to give him a t-shirt. He's been such a good follower and a great support of my channel. And that person is BM3 Aquatic. Like I say, he just follows from the start and every message is so supportive, so kind, and I'll thank you for that. So as a little gesture, I'll send you that t-shirt. So all you have to do is drop me an email at geordiescape@gmail.com. I'll leave that in the description there so you can find it, and just drop me a message and we'll make sure we'll get that t-shirt to you. So thank you and well done. Okay, like I was saying before, any comments, any questions, just leave it in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. Really does help us out. And if you've enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, because it really does help. It helps me get found and it really just helps me develop this channel. So that's the reason for the thumbs up. So don't forget to hit that. If you want to be notified, there's a little bell there, ting ting, hit that bell and you'll be notified every time I upload a video. And I promise there'll be a lot more regular. I've just had a nightmare over the last 4 or 5 weeks with editing videos, and it's been a right nightmare. So hopefully when I edit this one, all's good on my new computer. Okay, so I think that's everything. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed this tank. And for now, I shall see you later. Thanks. Bye.